Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boys, PD and Cal. Say what's up, guys?
What's going on?
Yo, ready to rock.
Yo, dude, we talking about the hottest film that's hit the planet. Not the world, not the planet. Forget the planet, the universe. It is Wolverine Deadpool!
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Or as we like to call it, Wolfpool. You know what I'm trying to say?
Nobody calls it that.
Who's not calling it? Well, we setting off a trend. It's gonna be a Wolfpool, you know?
I like to call it this time. It's for the money.
Or Dead Marine. So hey, the question is, it's popped out. We saw the movie. What are your takes on this? Petey, give me your 411.
It's an entertaining movie. It's a fun movie. What else can I say about it? It says what someone else had to say. The multiverse has not worked out. They tried it. It's not worked out at all. Deadpool said it himself, and I'm glad that scene was in the movie. But they had a lot of surprises, a lot of characters that either didn't get their light, didn't get their chance, and had their chance.
Spoiler review. You can tell them what's happening.
I'm just saying, we just started, so there's no point in throwing spoilers right in the beginning of it. They don't make any sense.
Channing Tatum. That's what I'm going to say right now. Okay.
That's what I want to say.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. Gambit was there, and boy, he kicked it. You know what I'm trying to say? His French was pretty bad. You know, but that's not the
He's
French.
not French. He's Cajun.
Yeah,
Cajun
thank you. No, that's the guaranteed. That's the accent.
Yeah, but it's bad. The accent, but it's bad. What he was saying. But look, the point of the matter is the movie was hot.
Can you do a Cajun accent?
Yeah, come on, man.
Can
you do a Cajun?
That's not occasion.
That's a wee. You
No, that's a little kid. That's a little kid on a carousel. That's not an accent.
I was just in New Orleans. Hey, Café de Monde. That's French. That's the accent they have there. I was having
Is that how they said it? Café de Monde.
No, the guy who was the cook, the guy like that's what he was doing.
Beignet de Monde. Beignet de Monde.
He had harps. Get out of here. You can't say someone is great and you didn't like the come on. It's like don't go together.
I like because of the power that he was shooting, the way he was using the cards. The power was expressed really well. His fighting. So you can disagree with him there. I said I didn't like the accent, but I like the fact that he was there. And I said, hey, Spock should have given him a chance. But look, the thing about this movie that I think is great is that because now they have it stuck with so much Easter eggs, this is definitely repeat viewing. This is something people will have to sit down and watch again.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. And
no,
so
you don't.
Yes, you do. And so what's going to happen is that, I think this is what's going to help them out. Now, when we talk about the multiverse, those things, they were experimenting with a whole bunch of stuff, and guess what? It didn't work. And now they're going back to the formula they had before. And what are they doing? They're throwing loads of cast at known quantities. Logan, he said he'll never do another superhero movie again. Right? After that, he went to go do the magic. What was that? The Magic Man.
He did everything he wanted to do. He was successful at everything. They gave him a ton of more. He didn't fail. He was sitting pretty, doing whatever.
Nobody said nobody. Who said failure? Did you say failure?
You did.
No,
you
I
did.
Yeah,
I didn't say fail. He didn't fail. I said he wanted to do something else. That's it. That's all. It's over with. Now he's back. He has loads of money. He's the man himself. And Logan and Deadpool, they should continue this comedy duo forever. If I was Marvel, okay. So I'm all for it. I think they made $450 million this weekend worldwide. I mean, come on. The rate they're going.
That's it. The worldwide. You counting worldwide already? I thought you were talking about here.
Here they're growing over 200 million.
Oh, okay, that's okay.
Oh yeah, this is within their projection. The projection was around 300, 350. So they've exceeded what people thought. So the question now is next week, is it going to be a huge drop or not? And I'm thinking not. So I mean, what do you think about this?
I think the point of what the movie is what they said in the movie. They went in, Deadpool starts the movie, and he digs up Wolverine. Literally, like the scene that Frank Miller did. Frank Miller did a editorial where you see people digging up old things. They dig up Elektra and they have the bones, and they say, and someone on the background on the page says, hey, I got one of Kirby's over here too. They literally dig up Wolverine's bones and he uses it to fight the TVA, right? And then we're so happy that the TVA gets hacked and slashed and all that stuff. But then, of course, this is Deadpool, so they have to backtrack. So we go back to him He's in a
Forget
bad
the
place.
music. Don't forget the music. There was
I'm
music
not
there.
gonna explain every music song that's in here.
Yeah,
It's
okay, but I'm saying while he was fighting, he had one of
I'm
the
talking
great
about the story. And like, wait a second, you gotta say the music.
Backstreet Boys. Dancing. He
And it
doing.
got the rhythm to it. Which song? What Street Boys is that? Thank you. Cal, can you tell me what song, Backstreet Boys song that is? Or you just have to, you can guess. You can guess. You can just guess and see them.
I didn't understand that. I didn't that melody that he did. I've never heard that as a Backstreet Boys song before.
I think. I think it's.
What was that?
I gave you an out to say
What,
that. Just take a guess and save them.
I don't know. Backstreet's back. I don't know.
Oh
I don't know what that
my
was.
God. Oh my
You had
God.
a shot. It's a bye bye bye. I gave you. It's a.
Isn't that the other group?
Yeah.
In sync. Bye bye bye. Anyway, so
Oh, you got him. All right, so then we
I
go.
got the wrong group.
hey, no, tap into. I want to tap into something that Petey said, where he said, they tried the multiverse and it didn't work. Okay. No, I want to come across as I don't want to come across as paternal, but by asking the question, why didn't it work? But Marvel doesn't really have a multiverse. That's DC's thing. DC has the Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 27, but more so than just having those Earths, they actually had characters that were developed on those Earths. So if you went to Earth 2, the JSA All-Star Squadron, you had developed characters. Same if you went to Earth 3 and it was the Crime Syndicate. Those guys had appeared several times and it established characters at the end of the day as to who these guys were and what they were in relationship to the characters from Earth One. Or they had a mini series, something like The Dark Knight Returns, or they had a special which was in Elseworlds, so you knew who this character was. So if it's Gotham by Gaslight or All Star Superman, you know who this character was who exists on this other Earth. Marvel's never really had that. Okay, it's not saying that they don't have the other, like a multiverse with different Earths, so on and so forth, but not as well developed as DC ever, had their multiverse. So now when it's time, okay, well, let's bring this to the screen, let's play around with it. There really wasn't a lot to play around with at the end of the day. The biggest thing that Marvel ever did in terms of a multiverse or an alternative universe was the Ultimate. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't something they tried to play with or went anywhere with at the end of the day. And there was still the phrase is leaving money on the table. They left so much money on the table where they didn't say, okay, how do we introduce the X-Men? How do we get the Fantastic Four involved in here? There's still like all these other characters and all these other teams that we want to bring in and try to bring them in successfully so we can expand this. How do we bring them in? And instead, we got so many stories that were affected by this blip and, multiverse. Now what is it? They got to, come over to Hugh Jackman, and they had to put so much money he couldn't get out of his front door in order, so we could get him back in the movie, and the other guy too.
Yeah, that's the thing, and obviously with the failures, they did what they had to pay back all of the stuff that went wrong, and hopefully lead to the next stuff they're doing. Obviously with the Russos and all the stuff they're announcing during SDCC. So with this, you also
all right.
Thank you for that. That was the thing. You cleared that portion up too. So then, of course,
that's not the song, man. I don't know what it was that you just did. That's not the song.
So
see, you're doing it again. You're creating your own music, like you create your own reality. Stop it.
All right. So then he gets pulled in. He's with his family. Things aren't working out because him and they don't say it as we go along, but him and Vanessa have kind of going their separate ways, even though they're friends. And then the TVA comes, as you've seen in the trailer, and they're just like, hey, you can go and you can try to fix we're pulling you over into the Marvel Universe, the sacred timeline, which they talked about in Loki. So we'll bring you over there. We think you're worthy enough to do this. You just have to be our mercenary. And at the same time, we are going to nix your timeline. And he's like, no, of course, that's Deadpool. He's like, and they point out how important Wolverine is. So they're like, hey, I'll just
The
go
anchor, the anchor.
the anchor of because he died in Logan, right? So then, but this at the same time that happens, who knows how far in the future because it's Colossus is in there. You can't erase the timeline while they're still there. You need the Logan to still happen for the timeline to happen, and so that portion of it we can't get into. But ultimately, he
It made
decided,
no,
huh?
it made no sense. It made no sense.
But then he decides he's gonna go find Wolverine. So then he's gonna go through the timeline, and we get many versions of Wolverine as we go through that, which is a cool, fun scene. Then for some reason, after we get kind of a mix up, they say something's, this isn't the best Wolverine, this is the worst. The movie changes into what's the name? Fury Road.
No
It
sir.
totally turns into Fury Road. It turns into Mad Max. They're stuck in this wasteland. Of course, there's some gags like the Fox thing and whatnot. And we get to start seeing characters from the Fox universe, which leads us to not all from Fox, but some from the Fox universe. We get to see, obviously, we see Chris Evans comes in there and he's in all this cloth. So we feel like it's one of those, what is it, Alex Ross, Captain America from Earth X. So it's like, oh, sweat, he's jumping down, he's going to be that. And it turns out to be, you want to spoil it?
Johnny Storm, baby, flame on.
But of
So
course,
yeah,
he doesn't know that Pyro's there, of course, so for some reason, and he gets taken out. But it leads us to the next story. Now, I have to say the major character in this, the major villain besides the TVA, is Cassandra Nova from the Grant Morrison X-Men series, and she brings up that she tried to choke Charles Xavier in the womb, and she's the worst here. She has, I mean, they kind of interpret her powers a little differently. She can kind of change reality too, but at the same time, she has this funky thing that she does with her power where she reaches in people's heads. And looking at that is really gross and like literally reaches in there and the hands are sticking out the person's face. So I really felt that was like a Morrison thing. So I think Grant Morrison sitting somewhere and saying, I should have thought of
Yeah.
that. So I should have thought of that. That seems like they did you justice, Grant. Because I was not necessarily like those characters that are kind of like the badass that get to do whatever they want. But they had her. They did some stuff with her that was interesting. So, and then it leads to, of course, they have a new team. They're following the X Force thing. But in this time, do you want to say? Because I've said a lot. You want to say who they run into? Because you said one of them, Morris.
you're saying X Force? He ran into who?
No, I'm saying he got like in the second movie, he got a team together.
Yeah,
This
he got a team together.
he got a team.
He runs into yeah, he runs into Jennifer Garner's Elektra. He runs into X-23 from the Logan movie. He runs into of course our boy Gambit himself, Channing Tatum. You know
And lastly, the most important.
Rick
who
Jones.
No, say it.
who else? I thought I covered it.
Blade.
Of course, Blade. And what did he say in the movie? He said the only one.
Wesley Snipes as Blade.
He
And
literally said
he
the only
wasn't, I don't think he was in the Fox movie, but at the same time, Channing Tatum, who never got the chance, he always wanted to do it, but they kind of woman him where they like, nope,
we.
we're not. Huh?
He said we.
Okay.
So so I guess this is gonna be tough because I enjoyed Flashpoint, the Flash movie Flashpoint. And everybody was like, this, that, and the other. And I thought the cameos we got, pretty cool. I thought you know, his name is, of course, his name is gonna escape me now when I gotta remember it. But, you know, I'm about to call him Tim Burton. And of course nobody's gonna help me out. Thanks, guys. I
You
thought
talking
he did a
about
good job.
Michael
Mike,
Keaton?
Michael Keaton. Great, just was about to say. So yes, I thought Michael Keaton did a good job. Okay. I thought the lead did a good job of playing two different flashes. So I was like, okay, fine. They were playing around, legitimate multiverse. They're doing that type of stuff. And everybody was like, yeah, whatever, failed, trash. So now we're going to come over to Deadpool and we're pretty much getting a similar amount of cameos. And everybody's like, yeah, this is the greatest thing ever. These people suck.
Wait, you can't. You're not saying that you liked Flashpoint, the
I
story.
already went on. We already did the review and I said I liked it.
I gotta go back and watch that. That was good lord.
Look,
No,
that point,
look,
the whole
look who we got.
people.
We got this person appeared, this person appeared, this person appeared. I was like, well, we got these same type of appearances over here in this movie. No, that was trash.
No, no, no. I think
I don't think
the
the parent. I don't think the appearances was trash. I think the movie itself. I think
premise. What was
yeah,
that premise behind it? That
yeah. I think that was.
they wanted to
I
get
think
butterfly effect. That was the issue.
yeah, some of that stuff, and yeah, I think there's a lot of other things. Yes, I don't think the people just going in for just the cameos because they had they were a big part of the story. So
We'll see. Better not be. Better not be, because
I don't.
I will have the final say.
Well, they come up with a team. They have their plan to try to deal with Cassandra Nova. They have something which I was had to think about for a second because but then I think the way they're playing with the Juggernaut makes sense in yanking off the helmet, but the problem is that you can't necessarily how they took out the Juggernaut is not how it works. So definitely the helmet makes sense because that can block out mental energy, and it all because the Crimson Bands of Korak can block out mental energy, and they utilize that. It took me a couple seconds to remember that, and then they utilized that on Cassandra Nova. But at the same time, they needed Cassandra Nova to get out of there, so they had to make a decision whether they're going to take the helmet off of her and she just murder them with all with no care. So they have a moment from that part, and of course they get back to the TVA, and then things get even nuttier after that part, where ultimately Deadpool has to go through 3 million Deadpools to get to the TVA, and they still have to deal with the bomb. But then Cassandra Nova comes out of nowhere to after this part to take over the lead and follow the plans of the TVA guy and with Paradox and kind of destroy everything on her terms. But of course it's Deadpool, and they kind of figure it out, and we need to have in. So any other what is your thoughts on the movie all together? All what are your thoughts in general of it?
I mean, in general, I think that by throwing the bag at Logan, and then having Ryan Reynolds, who really took ownership of the Deadpool character, and he has read the character, the stuff, and they've really crafted a great movie here. In fact, I mean, even with the director, I don't know who the director is, but the fact that he was able to handle all the things that they threw at them. I mean, the amount of cameos, the amount of Easter eggs they had in the movie was to me pretty shocking. It's like they really said, "Hey, we really, really, really want you to watch it and like it." And I said, you know what? Looking through this, I said, this is exactly what's going to happen. Marvel has given us any and everything. They know that Marvel fans love Easter eggs. They love cameos. They love Logan, and they gave us all of that. And it's R, so you have blood splattering. You got people throwing spines around, and overall, it's enjoyable. Then, of course, let's not even talk about the soundtrack. They have all this music that they put on that they had to spend tons of money on. They spent money on this movie. There was there's no cheapness about this. Whatever they wanted, I got it. And they killed it. And I can't even wait to see when they have the stuff that was cut. They could have been in this movie altogether.
Well, that's what they've been fighting over for a while. But the thing is, I look at the cameos more as like, who's that Lady Deathstrike, where you can't really see her, or even Azazel, because like Johnny Storm, those guys were actually a part of the story. So it wasn't just like a cameo, just like those having Wolverine's face in the thing, that sort of thing. I think the most characters that we talked about, they're in there. The stuff you talking about with the Easter eggs is trying to look around and say, was that actually the guy that was in it? I think they have a Psylocke in it, but I don't think it was Olivia Munn. Who else could be a cameo? Pyro had a large part in it, so he was in there for a while. So there's that. But at the same time, I think think Rob Liefeld created Lady Pool, so he, created in quotes because it's just like a female variation of Deadpool, but that character got in there, and 3 million other Deadpools, and
That
yeah,
was great. The Deadpool, they had to fight all of them, and that they had a fantastic fight bus. And as soon as they killed them all, what happens? They regenerated, so they had to fight. But
yeah, yeah.
except for one Deadpool, well, it was Nice Pool, because
Nice Pool, yeah,
Deadpool wanted his dog, this ugly looking
yeah,
dog,
yeah.
with this gigantic tongue, but seemed cute at the same, ugly but cute at the same time. And he wanted his dog so bad that he basically grabbed the guy, Deadpool, I mean Nicepool, and had him, use him as a human shield, not realizing, or probably he did, that he was not, he wasn't going to regenerate, he wasn't going to come back to life. So he died and then took his dog. It was sickening. And then while at the same time,
Why are you smiling?
Logan used the dog as a shield also, and
Well,
nobody shot the dog.
he's a part of the pool, so he's a part of the
What?
pool. I'm not gonna shoot him.
Dog pool, they didn't shoot dog pool.
About this? This guy just did something really cruel, and you're smiling.
Hey, I'm paying the dentist for something, yeah. I'm trying
Wow, this guy. Well, the other thing, what's the last bit I wanted to say about
Can I
this?
say, the dentist did a good job.
to say. I think we're going to probably pour over this a little bit more. There was a lot going on here, but I think probably the most interesting thing is the box office. I mean, it just kills all over the world. You know what I'm trying to say? And
One
this,
thing I take away from it is the wasteland, though. I'll just say that that's the portion that I was like, it was too much like Mad Max thing. I understand that they were, and he mentions that in there, but it's still time. It was just that's the only thing I can kind of hold against them. But otherwise, and using that nutty smoke monster from I guess it's from Loki or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, so
And,
that's
but I mean, I think it opened in every place but China again, right? And it killed it. So imagine if China was included in this thing too. So
F China.
hey,
I said it. Already said it.
like that. You know what I'm trying to say?
No,
Why? We
no,
can't be critical of China. We don't have a resume
F
with China.
China. Thank you.
We don't want to be critical, but it's still a market because Chinese
We
people
can
buy
be critical.
Chinese people buy our products
They're
too.
not letting us into China because of my history there. They're not doing it. So forget about it. Say what you like.
And all of the nutty stuff they said about the Black Panther. Come on, man.
That's right.
My goodness.
People have not forgotten.
They buy sneakers too, bro. Remember that.
What does that mean?
Yeah, we don't sell sneakers.
Yet. So hey, overall, we liked it. Go
Sneakers.
and check it out.
Good
Okay.
lord.
I gotta give him that one. That was smooth. I wasn't expecting it.
Sneakers.
So
All right.
interact.
Yet.
Out.